So our type checkbox. So the type checkbox allows you to create a set of choices, and it even allows multiple choices, so even none at all. So we're gonna be demonstrating that in our text editor. So okay. So we go here, and then we say just change all this to checkbox, and then we're gonna see. So I'll reload. We have a checkbox. So when I said it can allow you to pick all or none at all. So you picked all, none at all, and this checked shows that this is the pre-selected choice. So if I click on Ferrari and I reload the page to go back to Bugatti, so that's what the um checked attribute does. So it shows that it's pre-selected. So let's go back to our slides, and so the checked attribute specifies that an element should be pre-selected when the page loads. So they've demonstrated that. So next we go to type date. The type date attribute allows you to enter date into an input field. It also has a date picker if you need it. So yeah, it's just going to be okay. Let's go back to this place, and then after the age, let's say you have input input type date. Okay, so now name will be birth birth date. So we're not going to be using labels for this. Let me just copy this label, and it's, it's birth date, and then it's going to be date of birth. So 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 you're gonna see the way the browser is going to render the input type date to us. Okay, so I think let me give it a bear so that it can be more aligned. And let's give our input some space. So we're going to use the style, and then input, and then it's going to give it margin top and bottom 20, 10 px, left and right 5 px. So let's see. So yeah, it's better now. So that's what I just did. I just give it a margin, just the top at the bottom and left and right. So the first value here is for the top and bottom, and this is for the left and the right. So that's by the way. So now let's check on our input type date. So this is type date. This is how the browser renders it. When it's type date, these are the browser renders it. Sorry, and so you can pick a date today. So then pick 10th of October. Sorry, 12th of October 2022, and this is the month, date, and the year. That's the format. So um that's what type date does, and it allows a date picker. That's the date picker that we used to select our 12th of October. So that's the date picker. So we have type time. It allows you to enter a time with a time picker included. So let's not put a label for that. Let's just enter the time. Let's just put input time. Okay. So we have birth date, then okay, input type, and then we have name is gonna be time completed. So no label for that. So we're gonna see how the browser renders it. So you can see. So these for hours and minutes, and then we have AM or PM. So you can see hours, minutes, AM or PM. So 2:28 PM, it's 24 PM or AM. So this is the time picker. So that's how the browser renders the time, type time. So let's go to the next one, and that's type date time local. So the type date time local attribute allows you to select a date and time without the time zone. So it's date and time without the time zone. So there's no time zone, maybe UTC, whatever. So just a date and the time. So let's check it out. So let's go to our store, and then time input date time local name. So the name is going to be, so let's even try the date time to and see the difference between both of them so we can understand it better. Time, right. Let's remove the ID for now. Then let's then input type date time. So name is timer. Let me just don't want to be thinking about names now. So I'm go back to our browser and we'll do this. So see how this renders at this time, and this is date time local. This is date time local. So I see the difference between date time local and date time. So there we can calculate our month, date, year. So this time picker and date picker, it combines a time picker and a date picker. So you can just select this thing, a date and a time 4:32 a.m. So this date time lookup, and then the input type date time is a control for entering a date and the time based on UTC. So that one is based on the time zone, and the time is based in hours, minutes, seconds, and fractions of seconds. So and it's also based on the time zone. So that's different between date time and date time local. So we mostly use date time. So let's go back to our slides. And we're even going to know that this time. So you have type month. The type month attribute allows you to enter a month and a year. So date time. Okay. This time allows you to do what? It allows you to sorry, this time local allows you to enter a date and a time without a time zone. So take note of that, date and time without a time zone. So the type month allows you to type the month of the year and the year. So let's go here. And first of all, okay, since this is date time, I know, let's just change this to type month and time monthly, name monthly. So let's check this out. So this is gonna change. So you can see October 2022. So that is That is for our our input type month. Then we also have input type week. The type week attribute allows you to enter a week and a year. So same thing. So input type week. Day. So to be here. So when we go back, we're gonna say the week of the year and the year. So week what? So let's say week 39 of the year. So week of the year and the year. So that's what type month does. Type week does, sorry, type week. So let's go forward and type color. Type color attribute allows you to pick color. The and input tags that contain colors. So you can select your favorite color. So um let's demonstrate this. So it allows you to pick, it comes with the color picker. So let's go to R and then let me just copy one that has label and paste it. Yeah, label for birth date. So label for birth date. Okay, let me change this to label for fave color. Okay. Here is right. And then you have type color and then it will be fave color. So let's check this out. So you can see I have a color picker, and this is a RGB format, HSL, you have hexadecimal format. So these are the these are the way we write our colors in HTML. So let's go forward. So that's the type color. And you can use the value attribute to choose a preset color in, and so use the value attribute to choose a preset color. I know I talked about color code. So for example, now I want to write in hexadecimal, so 0000 CF. So that should be blue. So that's our value. And when we reload our page, we'll see that it change. So you can see. So if you want to have a preset value there, then you just put in the color code. It can be in RGB format, it can be in hexadecimal format, it can be in HSL format. So those are topics treated in CSS. So let's go on to the next one. Type range. Type range attribute shows a slider control and it defines control for entering a number whose exact value is not known. You can use it to move through extreme values starting to ending. The default range is 0 to 100. And restrictions can be set with the min, max, and step attributes. So you're just going to copy this example and then going to paste it in in our browser. So let me put it under this. Okay, and then BR. So as you can see, okay, let me display our web page and then you see. So let me go back. That's slider. So we have a minimum is 0, a maximum is 100, and the value is 25. If I change the value to 75, you're gonna see the step is 5. So we have intervals of 5. That's how it should be moving. The slider should be moving at intervals of 5. And see how it is now because the value was 25, but now that I've changed 75, let me reload the page and you see. So that's how the type range works. So let's go forward. So type telephone attribute is used to enter a telephone number into input field. So you have type tel and input type there. So you can also specify a pattern for additional validation. So let's do a phone number with a pattern. So I'm going to copy this example also to I'm going to copy this to our browser. So we paste it somewhere. Yeah, okay. And this is so this is our pattern. So for that, let me remove our required from this age. So that we can just have a faster way of so when we load, we have full number, and that will be so if I put 08035617892. So I click here to submit to say which match request format. So no, so the format I put was a slash a dash in between. So if I click here to submit, you see it has validated it. So if it's not in that format, it won't be able to submit it. So that was the extra validation I added to it. So let's go. The input type URL attribute is used to enter URL address into input field. Also specify pattern for additional validation. But by default, this our pattern is HTTPS. So let me just give a type URL example. So you can see our inputs. There are so many input type URL, and then the name is website address. Okay. So even if we don't specify the pattern, let's check again. So you have this here, and I put www.twitter.com. So please enter URL. So https slash slash, and you see it's going to submit now. So that's the pattern by default. So let's go forward. So we have the type search, type search attribute is used for search fields. Input type search name is Google search. So let's create that one too. Search type search Google S. Shorten this search the Google S. So Google massive search engine. So let's go back here, and then we have okay. So you can see it has these icon here to click. When we click on it and it's clean. So that's how the type search is rendered by the browser. Let me just make this give this to young men some BR tags just to make it a little bit more pleasing to the eye. Okay, sorry. So we have the type file. The type file attribute allows you to upload files locally from your computer to the web page. It indicates a file select field and has a browse button for file upload. So you can attach multiple files. So you can specify file type allowed by using the accept attribute. So I'm not going to do that now. I'm just going to show you how the type file works. And I believe you must have seen this a lot of times when you are trying to so when you're trying to passport. So we are trying to submit, and maybe you are trying to do some validation or verification, and they ask for a ID. So your ID, they ask for your passport or something that you can use for identification. So that's where the type file comes in. So This is how the browser renders it to us. So choose file, no file choosing. So choose file, and to bring us that so 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 you can see, so that's how it works. So it's it's a very nice tag, which I've used many times in many forms. So let's go forward. And we have type hidden. These are hidden from the user. They are used to store CSRF tokens for security and user identification. They can also be used to identify from action. So see this young example here, very rude. Imagine name is not your business and the value is told you. So let's copy him. Although that's a very bad. I'm not supposed to be rude, but that's a rude tag input. Type hidden. So the name is gonna be none of of yeah bees, and the value will be told yeah, have a area. So you're gonna see, you're going to see that you see nothing, just see an empty space. So this is where it's meant to be. So that's what type hidden does. So it's hidden from the user. So you have name disabled. These fields that these are fields that cannot be used by this until a condition has been met. So it may just be disabled by default, and it may be disabled until a condition has been met. So the disabled attribute makes an element unusable and unclickable. So let's go to our submit button, and let's disable it until, well, we've not really given a reason why it should be unlocked from the disabled. So we can just, maybe when you're using JavaScript, you can use the disabled tag to just disable your button, like disabled the name disabled, to um disable your button, to stop it from being clicked until all the fields are filled. So the fields are filled. That's the kind of a tricky word there. So now when we go back to our browser, we discover that, wow, this young man has been disabled. So it can't be enabled. Well, if we add some JavaScript and all that, it can't be enabled until all the fields are filled. So that's what again, those words again, sorry. So that's that about HTML input. So let's go to the select. The select tag is used to create a drop-down menu. This helps the user select one of the available options. The options are created using the option tag. So we can have this way, you can have it this way, which I'm going to show, and we can have it this way without, like, with one of the options not having a value. So let's go to our text editor and copy this example. So we paste it here. So the name is drinks, and you have options Pepsi. So we're going to see how the option works. So let's go down, and you can see Pepsi. Oh, these are the bottom. So let me just try to, let me give some text under the rem. So just to push it to the bottom of the page, break. So let's so that's some dummy text that I just put there just to fill in some space. So you can see that it's now closer. So this is how it works. Then if I remove, let's say I remove the value of sprite and there's nothing there, so it will still be there, but there will be an empty space in in the the option. So you can see there's this where sprite is supposed to be, so there's an empty space there. So let's go forward. So you can select an option to be you can set an option to be disabled. So let's, instead of now deleting the sprite entirely, let's just make it disabled. Disabled. And then let's go back. And then you see, so you can't click on sprite, you can't even get there. So that's that about that. And then you can use size attribute to specify the number of visible values and make multiple selections. So you can use size. Let's add one more drink. So option value is let's say which drink, which drink, which drink, which drink, which drink, and oh, Schweppes. Schweppes. Not sure if that is spelling, but let's just go with that for now. Schweppes. I'm not sure if that is spelling, but let's go with that. So now, yeah, we set the the size to 3. So you're gonna see what it's gonna do. It's going to remove one of, so obstacle Coquelin sprite. So we have set it to 3. So that's what that number does. I know our sprite is disabled, so we can only see 3 out of the 4 options, and then we will use multiple. So reload. So you can select multiple. So that's what the multiple is for. So let's go further. And then we have options can be grouped using the object group tag, and each of the groups has a label attribute. So now probably we have drinks, that's the broad category, and we have carbonated drinks and we have fruit drinks. And we're like, okay, let's let's group these drinks. So in a old select tag, so let's group all of them. So we use the object groups. So object group, so we have the label for carbonated, we have the label for fruit drinks. So let's show this example here. I'm going to copy this. I'm going to copy this. And let's say, okay, let's just put this here. Or let me move this. Let me place this. So we created a whole feed set for it, and we put the legend drinks. So just like we did for all these ones, just to show that this is separate. And then we have our label fruit, and we have drinks. So when we check how this works, we're gonna see something. So see, carbonated, that's the label for this. And we have Coca-Cola, Pepsi, Fanta, Sprite. And we have fruits, that's the label for this. And we have orange, smoothie, cocktail, and punch. So that is what the opt group does. So it groups options together. So let's go forward. Okay, and let's get, these are the last 2 tags we're going to be considering. The text area tag allows users to enter multi-line text. It defines a multi-line field. The rows attribute set the number of lines in the text area, while the codes attribute sets the width. So the name attribute defines the name in the data. So you have text area. Let's just say in okay, yeah, I have text area, and the name is information. So let me move the ID for now. So the codes and the rows are set already. by default. So it's not going to be too big. So I can change it if I want to. If I want to make it very long, so just go here. So and I'll want to make it, I'll just go here and I'll say 70 and then let's check. Okay, that's already loaded to. Okay, so it's loaded to this 70 and so that's the text area. So we can just write, I have a complaint to make to blah 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 dot. So may have seen this sometimes in some forms where you have an option of writing something, or maybe you want to give an information, you want to send, you want to make a complaint or something like that. So that's what that can be used for. So we have the button tag defines a clickable button. The type attribute defines the kind of button for the browser. So let's demonstrate that. So just like we have our form button here, so I'm going to use this. Yeah, this is disabled, so this is type submit. Then we can also have um so we can, yeah, so this button type submit, and it's actually currently disabled, so she's disabled. So that's what the button tag does. And we can also use the button for some other things. So the button can also be used for other things, and not only for form submission. So that is the end of today's lecture. I hope you've been able to gain something, and I trust by now you should know what the form entails, the type of the different elements we have in the form, the different tags, the different types of inputs. So I believe by the end of this lecture, you should be able to know them. And remember, practice makes perfect. So you need to practice what you're learning. So bye for now. Until next class, stay focused and stay safe. So thank you.